In this video I would like to answer one question. Is Sony 50 f1.8 FE lens actually any good? Yes, the Sony 50mm f1.8 FE lens, the most affordable Sony prime lens there is. I have bought this lens second-hand a while ago and I haven't really used it much. It just didn't feel right to me and it ended up in my lens drawer, in my lens graveyard, sitting there for one day. Maybe I will need it or want to use it. But I have seen a lot of people talking about this. I have seen a lot of people using it online. So I had decided to take it out, get out of my drawer, my lens graveyard, and give it a go. So I have been using it for 2 days and I am very impressed, because when you go past the autofocus issues, it's not very fast, and its plastic construction, it is actually very sharp and good lens. And autofocusing is very slow. It has to think for a moment before it latches onto that point you're focusing on, but it is very accurate. Even in the low light, the focusing is performing slow but very well. For video, the autofocusing is very unreliable and very slow. Sometimes it focuses okay and accurately, but sometimes it takes forever to think about what actually is worth focusing on the frame I'm filming. So I wouldn't recommend using this with autofocus for video because it's just not fast enough. The sharpness of pictures is surprisingly very good. It is on par with 55mm Zeiss f1.8 lens, and wide open at f1.8 it is surprisingly sharp edge to edge. It is, for the price and the value of this lens, it is something I didn't expect at all from this. The bokeh is certainly a little bit different than of those more expensive lenses, and that's because there's only 7 aperture blades in this lens when all more expensive one got 9. What it does, the 7 blades, they basically create bokeh which isn't perfectly round like the other ones do, like the other lenses do. This one is slightly squashed and oval, but it gives it a bit of a character, and I quite like that. It's just not something maybe only geeky people will be looking for, the shape of the bokeh, analyzing it, how many aperture blades in a lens. But if you use it as a lens to take pictures with and be creative with, that actually isn't important whatsoever. Another thing to really watch out for with this lens is chromatic aberration, which shows on some photos quite prominently as green fringing, and I find that it's sometimes hard to remove it in post. I wouldn't recommend this lens for anyone shooting live events like weddings. The autofocusing is just touch too slow to be live event lens. It's just, you might miss important moments if you rely on this to decide where the focus point is. Who this lens is good for, it's for someone who wants a good prime for portrait or product photography or general shallow depth of field pictures or videos, because if you not have to rush with it and give it some time, it is no different than any more expensive lenses. It is light, so it balances great on the gimbal. Because the lens is quite short and light, when you put a camera on the end of it, the center of gravity is where the camera is. There's no heavy front end or heavy back end. It just sits nicely, so it's very quick to balance out on the gimbal. The lens is great for someone just starting up or someone who has blown all their lens budget on Sony 1635 f2.8 lens, but the quality is very much comparable to more expensive lenses. If I didn't have this lens, would I buy it? Probably not, only because it's cheap and it's plasticky, and like most people who are used to more expensive lenses, they wouldn't even look at this because it's one of those bottom of the range lenses. But if I had a chance to try it first or watch video like this one, I definitely would consider this lens It is good for pretty much anyone who is into creative photography and doesn't have to rush pictures or capture one-off moments. So this is it from me. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up. Leave me your comments below. Let me know if you are thinking about buying this lens and you would like to know anything else I didn't talk about it. And if you're kind enough to subscribe, I really appreciate it. And yeah, stay creative, and this is it from me. Bye for now.